Akemashite omedetou. Happy New Year. The year of the rooster. And I'm a rooster. And when the year of your sign comes around, it's called Ataridoshi in Japanese, which means lucky year. And so I thought, what better way to usher in my lucky year of the rooster than talk about the pet rooster I had called Blue. After all, it will be another 12 years before this chance comes around again. So once upon a time when I was a senior in high school, there were a couple of girls who got some male chicks for a psychology experiment. It was nothing cruel. It was to see if and how the chicks responded to different colors and if they had a preference. Afterwards, the girls were giving them away to students to adopt because all of them had some sort of deformity, which meant that they wouldn't be given the chance to live if they were returned to the farm. So, that day I returned home with 2 male chicks, which I called Red and Blue, because those were the colors the farmer had marked on their heads. Blue turned out to be quite dominant, and despite my efforts to protect Red and nurture him as best I could, Red passed away within that month. Losing Red only made me more determined to make sure Blue has a good, strong life. Unlike Red, Blue seemed very healthy and lively. The only deformity I noticed was Blue's toes on one leg were curled inward. So he had a funny waddle to his gait because of it. It was the beginning of summer, and I made sure to have him play outside in the grass as I threw millet seeds about him. He wasn't the only pet at that time, however. I had 2 cats and a Dalmatian. So every day I would pet him, hold him, and spoil my baby Blue, feeding him millet and digging for worms. And Blue grew stronger and cockier by the day. One day, my male tabby cat decided to play lion and sneak around the grass several meters away. Blue was a juvenile then and was in the process of shedding the last bit of his down for adult feathers. Blue was not the vulnerable yellow chick anymore. So, when my cat was creeping closer, the cat's confidence was getting weaker with each step. He saw just how much taller Blue had become. Yep, the cat just gave up and began grooming himself instead. After that, Blue was king of the backyard. Well, except for the times my Dalmatian was running around. When it comes to teenagers, roosters are the funniest. When Blue tried to crow, his voice would crack. The first time he did it made me jump, because all of a sudden I hear what sounded like a broken bicycle horn, and realized that silly sound came from Blue. There were a lot of funny noises he'd make. Little chattering noises like and the little chicken breaths like. There were also times when Blue scared me. I'd come home and Blue greets me with dried blood on his chest. I'd check him for any wounds and see that it wasn't his blood. Upon further investigation, I discovered the bloody remains of a mouse. Blue was hunting mice. I was so proud of him. I even told him how proud I was for ridding the infestation. While I was burying the mouse, of course. Blue was mean, too. When he became a full-grown rooster, he'd charge at my other family members and try and kick them with his huge spurs. But because of his crooked toes, he couldn't charge in a straight line. So he was easy to evade. And since I was his main source of human interaction, I was the only one who can hold him and calm him down. Well, there were a few times when Blue would let my brother hold him. Blue had weak wings and didn't fly very well. So we'd play a game my brother and I called Toss the Chicken, where we'd toss Blue in the air to exercise his wings. Blue became a master at falling in style. When Blue wasn't outside flaunting his ego, we had our quiet moments. I learned how to hypnotize him by putting him on his back and rub his belly. He'd go into this trance, and his already blank chicken stare would do the impossible and look more blank than normal. And from chick to cockerel to rooster, I'd let him lay on my stomach as we took cat naps on the couch. It got crazy though when he started crowing in his adulthood, because I realized just how random crowing is. He'd be quiet with his eyes closed one moment, then suddenly crow in my ear for no reason at all. Crazy. Blue was definitely something special. and I had him for about 5 years before he got kidnapped by a raccoon. I cried my eyes out when I found nothing but a mess of feathers outside, and no Blue. However, it turned out to be a blessing in disguise because we had a major storm run through our valley that winter, with 70-mile-an-hour winds that fell our huge Douglas fir trees in our neighborhood, some of which were 200 feet tall. I called my boss and said, "I can't come to work today because my street is blocked on both ends by fallen trees." To which my boss replied, "Stay home, we're out of power." So that was that. And I knew Blue would not have survived that storm. It was a miracle my house didn't get crushed, and I came to terms with his loss by saying that Blue did not go to waste to that raccoon and its family, and I did what I said I would, give Blue a good, strong life. But there are times when I miss his soft feathers, scaly crooked toes, his rubbery earlobes, comb and wattles, birdie voice, big ego, and dumb stare. I even miss his funny eggy smell. So, that's the story of Blue, my rooster. If you liked this video, let me know in the comments. And happy Rooster Year. Cheers.